Chapter 12. The Hanged Man. By the time the sun rose, I knew this could be the end. The entire community was gathered as the light came over the horizon when they let us into camp. Waiting right beside the remains of the pyramid, it was clear these people were aggravated and exhausted. 8 posts had been entrenched into the dirt while logs and brush were placed in front of the pyramid's remains. Some of these people were once wealthy masters who had become impoverished commoners overnight, and now their expensive gowns and jewelry were covered in dirt from the days we'd been outside. Small tents were constructed under the trees from whatever materials were left. These people's lives were reduced to the bare minimum, and I could sense that they needed someone to blame. One by one, the guards raised our hands up overhead, pinned our arms to the posts, and tied us up in front of the pyramid. More soldiers came behind us as the entire community gathered before us, when one of the generals waited with a torch.
"Here stand the 8 women on trial for the murder of our king,"
yelled General Mo. This was the old puppet, the man who wanted the power.
"Today I will be the judge. Everyone else will be our jury. This trial begins with a testimony from our soldiers who witnessed what happened,"
said General Mo. I looked down the line of 7 sisters who were all tied up beside me. The emotions began to seep out from our skin, and now all the rage and anger was no longer trying to hide, and somehow not one of us spoke out. "I was there when it happened," spoke the soldier that came to arrest us. "On the day the king was murdered, I was called to assist Evil by investigating an emergency on the 28th level. We were ordered to follow Evil up to the king's suite after we were informed of a threat. No other branches of our military were aware of any such violence, and no one from the king's suite alerted us, but we were ordered to follow Evil's command." Merope began to growl when she whispered down the line. "It's all a lie."
"Shh, whore,"
said General Mo.
"Now continue, soldier."
"The king was shot in the head, and the gun was in her hand," said the soldier, pointing at me. "Jane shot the king, and after we arrived, she tried to shoot Evil, but we were able to get the gun out of her hands."
"You see,"
said General Mo.
"this bitch killed our king."
The crowd began to jeer, curse, and throw stones pelting my body and face. "That's not all," said the soldier. "She was working with that one-eyed Jack. After the murder, I was ordered to go to the 6th floor and guard the contracts. There were many men with me. We all waited until Evil brought the one-eyed Jack there. It was then that we witnessed the one-eyed Jack use magic to start a fire. He summoned a flame between his hands before all the pages began to burn. That's how the pyramid caught on fire."
"That bastard,"
yelled Mo.
"Then you're saying Jane is on his side. They were in this together."
The soldier nodded. "I believe so."
"And what happened next? Where did the one-eyed Jack go?"
asked Mo. The soldier's eyes remained still. He was staring ahead, as if he was looking through the general before he spoke. "I sent him to hell," said the soldier. "As soon as I saw those pages burning, I shut the door and trapped them inside. He's dead."
"And as for these women, what do you make of them?"
asked Mo. "They're witches," said the soldier. "They're worshippers of the devil, and we caught them using black magic in the woods." The crowd threw stones and dirt at us while General Mo rubbed his chin. "What's their sentence?" yelled someone from the crowd. "Death!" yelled another man. "Kill them all!" screamed a woman. I was trying to wiggle my wrists free, but the soldiers had tied our wrists tight and pinned them above our heads to the wooden posts. What hope was left for us? There was nothing I could do, and yet the rest of these sisters hadn't done anything wrong. "Wait a minute," yelled a random man from the crowd. "Something doesn't add up." "Shut up, Francis," yelled someone else from the crowd. "No, I'm being serious. We should look into the actual evidence," said the man named Francis. "This soldier is telling us that he saw Jane with a gun. But did he actually see her shoot the king?" It was quiet for a moment. "It is obvious that she killed the king," said the soldier. "Then where was she in relation to the king?" "You were in the suite, so set the stage for us," said Francis. "She was across the room. Now why does it matter?" said the soldier. "And you believe the king died just before you arrived?" said Francis. "Yes," said the soldier. "Was there anyone else closer to the king's body?" said Francis. It took a moment before the soldier answered. "The one-eyed Jack was beside him," said the soldier.
"And who are you? What do you do?"
asked General Mo. "Me? I'm Francis. I'm a common man, and I'm a follower of Christ. I was cleaning the 6th floor when I saw the one-eyed Jack burn the contracts." The crowd began to whisper. "What did you see?" asked General Moe. "I saw how the one-eyed Jack was covered in blood, and I believe it's more than possible that the one-eyed Jack killed the king, and then Jane took the gun from him. Why else would the soldiers let Jane go free? You said Evil only wanted the one-eyed Jack, and that he brought him down to the 6th floor, right?" The soldiers nodded. "Then why would Evil let Jane go if you're certain she killed the king? Because I saw the desperation on the one-eyed Jack's face when he was on the 6th level. He was terrified of Evil, and he was running out of options. I believe that the one-eyed Jack killed our king and then burned the pyramid down because he had nothing to lose," said Francis. "That's not true," said the soldier. "I think Evil and the Jack were in this together. I think Jane was with them too." "And why are the rest of them tied up? There are 7 other girls who have no charges against them. So then the rest of these girls are innocent," said Francis.
"They're whores,"
said Moe. "Ah, maybe. But they are humans like you and I. They are regular people just like the rest of us. It's not up to us to judge them, but rather we should leave that to God the Father," said Francis. "We found these tarot cards with them," said the soldier, holding up a deck. "They're dark witches who summon death to the land." He moved closer to Merope and ripped off her necklace. Holding it to the crowd, he exposed the pentagram symbol. "This is the sign of the devil's witchcraft. They're all plotting against us," said the soldier. "Burn them!" yelled someone from the crowd. Now more stones and mud were tossed at my sisters and me. "Wait a minute. That's not the devil's sign. The pentagram stands for the elements. It has 5 points to symbolize earth, air, water, fire, and spirit. This is getting out of control," said Francis. This common man had taken center stage. It seemed as if the whole community was against him, and yet he was the only logical person here. He moved up in front of the crowd, right beside General Moe, trying to calm down the people when I caught sight of the black cat. Its yellow eyes glimmered on the outskirts of the forest. The black cat must have followed us here, and I could feel my mala being pulled towards this mysterious feline. Now the other cat came up behind him. Both of them were moving through the woods and began passing through the people's legs, making their way to the posts we were tied to. "We may not have much, but we need to be civilized," said Francis. "If you start burning people at the stake without proof of a crime, these soldiers could go on burning anyone they want. It's all madness from then on out. I know our living conditions are rough, but this is a great chance to begin with God's love. I say we form a democracy, where we vote for a court, and that way the voice of the people can be heard. These women are people, no different than you or I, so why would we harm them?" "Don't listen to him. It's all a lie," said the soldier. "A lie? Why on God's green earth would I lie? I'm just trying to be sensible. And why don't we ask Jane what she saw? After all, she was beside the king when it happened," said Francis.
"No,"
yelled General Moe.
"I trust the word of the soldier over these prostitutes, and so I sentence Jane to death, along with the rest of these dark witches. Burn them at the stake."
Moe followed the crowd. That's all he ever did. The old man was lost in his ego, and his fingers twitched with the added pressure. It was obvious his personal fears had taken control over the mob. "Nonsense," yelled Francis. "This is insanity. Put that flame out at once."
"Hang him,"
yelled Moe. The soldiers took hold of Francis, who didn't even try to fight back. Now even the soldiers became confused once they had him in their arms. "We can't hang him. There's no crimes against him." "What do we do with him?" whispered the soldier.
"Well, don't kill him. Just hang him upside down for now,"
yelled General Moe. And so the soldiers tied a rope around his leg and tossed the rope over a branch. Pulling it higher, they suspended him upside down while he remained unharmed. "This is hypocrisy," yelled Francis. "I demand to be put down." No one was listening to him. No one cared at all, and now the people piled more branches and leaves under our feet. There were heaps of dead brush around the timber below us when my heart began to break open. "They're not witches," I yelled. "I tricked them. I tricked all these girls. I shot the king, I killed him, and I needed protection, so I lied to these girls. I never even told any of these girls what happened. I lied to them hoping you wouldn't find me."
"Too late,"
yelled Moe.
"You will die. The punishment is death."
And so I couldn't help but cry when I felt something crawling up the wooden post. Peering back behind me, I saw the black cat emerge alongside Mowgli's cat as it bit the rope around my hands. Meanwhile, Mowgli's cat, the cat with the flame between her eyes, was chewing at the rope around my ankles. The black cat's eyes caught mine, and this was the first time I noticed that this cat was slightly cross-eyed, as if its eyes were always meant to be fixated on that rope right in front of its nose. A moment later, the cats ripped the rope clean off, and my hands and feet were free. Without hesitation, my arms dropped as I jumped away from the post to leap over the brush around my feet. "She's escaping!" yelled someone from the crowd. Looking to my left, a soldier held a burning torch and ignited it beneath the oldest sister's feet. The blaze spread to the dry brush and flourished around Maya as it scorched her alive. "She will rise," said Maya. My worst fear was coming to life. Ever since I left home, everything started to die. Was I the reason it was all falling apart? Now the fire spread to the other sisters. People were in front of me, generals behind me, and more soldiers were on their way. The only option I had was to follow the cats into the pyramid off to my right. There was a rope ladder heading inward, and that incline looked steep, but after the cats clawed up the rope and started climbing up, there was nowhere else to go. Climbing upward, I saw the open doorway up to my right where the cats jumped into safely. Taking one look back, I saw the height of the flames around the 7 sisters when I climbed for my life. Men were coming after me, and it was all burning away. A great power began pumping through my chest as I could hear the land begin to scream. My only hope was to go forward through the darkness within.